Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So I'm sorry this video didn't come out yesterday as I had intended. I know you guys didn't know it was supposed to come out yesterday, but all the same I want to apologize because I meant to get it out yesterday, but I didn't get home from work till 1:30 in the morning, so I was like, there's no point. I'm in red ranks, I'm playing Doctor, as you can see, and anyone who knows how red ranks is knows that there's only a few killers which stand that big of a chance in these ranks. And just the other day I got me a game when I was practicing for this video, who brought in an insta-heal, a key, and a freaking brand new part. And I see these games all the time. There are so many powerful add-ons being used by survivors at this rank. It's absolutely insane. So as I was saying, today we're playing the Doctor. He's got a special place in my heart because he was my first killer. Like, I literally learned to play this game by playing the Doctor. And so, it's sentimental to me in that way. Which is why I was so excited when I heard the devs are planning on reworking some of his add-ons, because that could make him better, and I would love to see him improved. But, I'll get to that. First, I should explain that for those of you that are new, this is my Killer Catalog series. The series where I go over a killer, give you tips and tricks on how to play said killer, give my opinions on where they place in the DBD meta, and also suggest any changes that I feel they could or should get, should I feel they need any at all. So the Doctor. He's got a lot going for him. His ability is probably the most complex ability in the entire game, in a way. Because first, you're in punishment mode, where you're holding your weapon and you're running at 115 speed, like a normal killer, normal tear radius, all that fun stuff. But whenever when you hold down a channel, you switch to he puts his weapon away and pulls out a closed fist. And that is called treatment mode. And that turns his tear radius into a static field, which slowly builds up madness. And he also reduces his speed to 110, and you also get slowed down when transitioning to treatment mode and back to punishment mode as well. And he also can by using the attack button, by holding it down, can fire off a charge of electricity from his body, which will give a big chunk of madness to any survivors that it hits. And they will, if they're hit by it, they also cannot vault windows, pallets, or drop pallets for about, I think it's 2.5 seconds. I don't know if it's quite that long. I know it's not very long, but it can be used to prevent people from going through windows and stuff. But we'll get to that as we get into the gameplay, and I'll explain to you a bit more on that. So madness, what it does is, there's 3 tiers of madness: tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. And at tier 1 you just scream, and you have a 33% chance of your skill check appearing in a random place on your screen. At tier 2, you have that's when some of his add-ons begin to take effect, depending on what add-ons there are. And I'm not going to go over them all because it would take me 10 minutes just to go over them all. And as you can see, the match is going to start in just a minute. Basically, there's all kinds of crazy shit that his add-ons can do. You'll just have to read over them if you want to know what they all do. Let's see what else. Oh yes, in tier 3 madness, this is where things get interesting, because now they have a 90%, I think it's 90% chance of a skill check appearing in a random spot on their screen. And on top of that, they will every time they increase a tier in madness, they will scream, except in the case of tier 3 madness, which will cause them to scream periodically unless they do a channel that causes them to snap out of it and go back to tier 2 madness. Also, while in tier 3 madness, they cannot heal or repair, but they can still go through the hatch and repair generators and vault windows. Now, I didn't get to show you, but one of I was running the Moldy Electrode and the Iridescent King, which is his ultra rare add-on. Iridescent King, all it does is every time he zaps somebody with his ability, he applies a random one of his other add-ons. Like, it's basically all his add-ons combined into one, and you get affected by one of these add-ons every single time you get zapped by his shock therapy attack. And every time you enter tier 3 madness, you get affected by all of them. So it's pretty powerful. Well, it's not the most powerful iridescent add-on, but it's definitely a lot of fun, and it's crazy how many abilities and stuff you can stack on people. The build I chose to run on Doctor was Distressing, which increases his terror radius by 26%, because Doctor is unique in the fact that he can use his terror radius through his static field in his treatment mode as a form of map pressure. And then plus it gives him extra blood point and deviousness and makes it easier to farm it on him. Makes him good for blood point farming. And then I was also running Barbecue and Chili, Ruin, and Pop Goes the Weasel, of course, just to keep the gens down and try to keep up as much pressure as possible. The reason I went for a brown add-on, as in the Moldy Electrode, is because there's the Moldy, Polished, and High Stimulus Electrodes as brown, yellow, and green, respectively. Each one increases the range of his shock therapy. The problem is that each tier of it makes his charge speed slower. And it makes the higher tier electrodes not very worth it. Now, what you do when you start playing Doctor is you run around in treatment mode, and eventually someone's going to enter Madness Tier 1. So what you're probably gauging from this, and what is the case, is Doctor is super anti-stealth. As you can see, I stopped him from putting down the pallet by zapping him. That is what you try to do with the shock therapy in order to make it more effective. You can also use it just to put him in Tier 3 Madness to make it to where he can't do anything even if he escapes. But that's not always the wisest decision, because it takes a while to do it. Kind of the reason Doctor's not considered to be all that great. He's just throwing pallets down, and he's not even sticking to them, so let's just see if he has Dead Hard. No, he does not. Alright. So now that I got him knocked down, I can put him on the hook over here. Go start pressuring some gens. Let's see who else do I need to get into. Where the hell did this other guy go? He was here. Damn it. I got distracted. I'll just let him save. I need to go kick that gen. They've been working on it, and they've blown it up a couple times now. Gotta get that Pop Goes the Weasel going. Yeah. Pop Goes the Weasel on you. Alright, I'm gonna swap back into treatment and see if maybe I can get more madness on them. They've already healed the bill that they got off the hook. So yeah, currently my terror radius is absolutely massive, so it allows me to pressure up the map a bit better than normal through this method. Ah, fuck. These guys are playing very stealthy. Yamoka Estate is a very difficult map for Killer because it's so easy for survivors to stealth around because there's debris everywhere. And they can also hide in the bamboo. It's just a pain to deal with. Dang it. Alright, smacked him. He has no pallet to run to yet. So let's just go through here. He's running through here when there's not really much here for him to use. So I'm not sure what his plan is. You gonna... No? Okay. You have Dead Hard? No, you don't. So let's just go over here. Now normally with the Iridescent King, zapping him a couple of times is a good idea just to make the status effects start stacking up. But in red ranks, you got to be a lot more careful when you try to do that because you got to try to keep up the pressure on the map more than anything. And the status effects aren't the greatest in the world, which is probably why his add-ons are getting reworked because it's not even worth running much of his other add-ons. All right, is he gonna? All right, so he's not very smart. He just stopped and threw down the pallet, which gave me time to recover. So I'm gonna easily catch back up to him. I don't know if he had Dead Hard or not, but whatever. Either way, the status effects are starting to slowly stack up on them. Hello. Ah. Okay. He was smart because that's another thing that the doctor has that's weird. If you get really close to him, then he can't hit you with the shock therapy, which is kind of dumb, but it's not a very smart thing to do because if the doctor just decides to switch to punishment mode, then obviously he'll F you up. And now he's gone. No, never mind, he got it. But I got him as well. Luckily, I've been keeping good pressure up, and Ruin has not disappeared yet. Ah, shit. Okay, so I need to go back and kick that other gen. Because they're going to start popping gens really quickly if I don't stop them. Alright, he's going to try to stop me, but obviously he can't. Alright, I'm going to go back and get this gen. I need to stop it. That other Bill will come right back to it as soon as he's healed. So there we go. Don't think I didn't see you, boy. Let's just hit this guy right there. I zapped him once just to give him a bit more madness and to also stack up some status on him. Yeah, these guys are throwing down pallets on me because they don't like to play the pallets against Doc. Not really the worst decision, but I can also still cut them off because once the pallet's thrown, Doctor gets stronger because not being able to vault the pallet is better for him than them just not being able to throw it down because it makes it to where he shuts down the loop entirely for a short period. That's the time when Doctor feels actually decent. But the problem is that, wow, they actually let him die. Feels bad. But yeah, but the problem with Doctor is he has so many slowdowns when he's transitioning, when he's firing, when he's just in treatment mode in general. It just really screws him. I think he was trying to go for the window. I don't know what the hell he was trying to do, but it obviously didn't work. Alright, is he going to actually just go for the insta-save? No, his teammate is though. But I'm not a tunneler and I'm not too worried about it. He's trying to body block for him though. Maybe Survivor Friends, just because there's 4 Bills. But then again, Bill's pretty popular right now since he just came to console. So he's on the hook again. Not a problem. Things are going good in the hood. Oh, hello. I'll zap you once because you're making a very dumb decision right now. What were you thinking, dude? That was suicidal. Where are you going? Bill? Hey Bill, I can hear you coughing. Maybe you shouldn't smoke so much. I don't know if this is the same guy I was chasing. It's impossible to tell because they're all injured Bills. I'm assuming this is him. Maybe not. Whatever. Either way, you're going back on the hook, bro. These guys aren't the greatest, honestly. But you're kind of getting the idea. But if you want a Doctor to actually be effective, you have to be kind of creative with his stuns, because you have to pre-fire them into where they're going to go, because the duration of the stun is short. So if you don't time it just right, you get absolutely screwed. So he's down again. Let's see if he has D-strike. I'm not too worried about it. Yeah. Because these guys haven't been able to really do jack shit this whole game. I've been keeping up enough pressure that they haven't been able to keep the gens going. I guess that is one good thing about this map. It's small enough that Doctor can pressure it pretty effectively with his madness. Oh, thanks for hacking your guts out near me. Now to go find this other guy. He'll be trying to snap out of it so he doesn't scream. That's another thing about the snapping out of it. You won't scream while you're snapping out of it, so you need to take advantage of that. But as you can see, I can see illusionary doctors in tier 3 that show me that are looking at the survivors when they're down here. Are you in the locker? Pretty sure you're in the locker, huh? Yeah. You can also build madness on down survivors as well, so you can also use it as like a slugging tool for like the 4K when it's the last person, because they'll slowly build up madness when in your terror radius, and then when they get to tier 3, you'll get to see auras on them and everything. Just one of those things that makes Doctor a really powerful tracker. Doctor also has one of his add-ons where he can see the auras of these doctors in tier 2 madness, which means they are always constantly being tracked. It's the Restraint series add-ons, and they're personally my favorite. And Distressing is kind of a crap perk on pretty much every killer except Doctor. Wow, he screamed okay, so he's over here. Distressing is kind of a crap perk on everyone except Doctor, just because not many other killers can weaponize their terror radius unless you make a certain build around it. But yeah, that's how that went. I'm going to do a second game because subscribers said they preferred the longer videos because it gives them more entertainment, and plus this game was pretty easy and short, so why not? I'll give you guys a second game. And this time I won't use an iridescent king, because I want to show off this restraint add-on, these restraint add-ons I told you about. Nice. So yeah, survivors don't really like the Doctor very much, just because, you know, they can't really stealth very well against him, and it's like, but then again, he's also not that strong of a killer either. I personally don't mind facing Doc. I actually think it's a lot of fun, despite the skill checks being made a bit more difficult to do, but, you know, still, it's amazing. They are red rank survivors, but they sure as hell weren't playing like red rank survivors. But that's no problem. Let's find another match. Now, be warned. Doctor, as I said, is not a high tier killer. That does remind me. I forgot to talk about the other parts about where I'd place him in the meta and such. I'm very sorry. I'm getting sidetracked because there's so many things that I have to explain about the Doctor, because he's got so much going on with him. So I place him a bit higher than most. Some people place him near the bottom of the killers list. I personally think he places just below the upper of the mid tier, just because he can get looped and his ability slows him down a lot, which means his chases can take longer than normal if you're not careful. But at the same time, the fact that he has tools to deal with pallets at all is, I think, underrated. And plus, a little tip: if you want to have increased range without slowing down the charge, if you have enough practice with the Doctor, I would recommend going for the interview tape. Because I actually tried this a long time ago, and it worked out very well, because they just don't expect it. Because you have so much range, but your charge speed is still base, so it's a lot faster. But the thing is, it's also a lot narrower and not as big of an AoE, so you have to aim your shots a lot more effectively. This is kind of used with range add-ons on Snipe Doctor builds. Man, there is some crazy shit you can do with it, let me tell you. And as for tweaks I would make to the Doctor, he's getting add-on rework soon, as I mentioned earlier, which is very cool. I'm very happy about this. I'll put on a yellow restraint, and I'll put on some blood points, just because Doctor's good for them blood points. Alright, don't have any of those, so I'll just make on some Bloody Party streamers. Why the hell not? But me personally, what I would want changed on the Doctor is I would like to see that they slow down. Like, some people have suggested making his treatment mode 115 speed, which would make sense, because it's like, why does he need to be slower? He can't hurt you in that mode. The worst he can do is stun you, and even then he has to swap back to punishment mode before he can get you anyway. And if you allow him to hit you, then, well, I mean, that's your fault. So that could be a good idea. I personally wouldn't mind it staying 110 if they would A, give him like Moldy Electrodes range base kit, That way you don't have to run a ranged add-on at all if you don't want to. Because without, even with the moldy electrode may be a brown add-on, but it makes a big difference with him. Because it allows his shocks to have any sort of range. Like, his range is terrible without it. And it's the only electrode that gives you enough speed that you can use it for decent anti-looping. The only thing, the high stimulus and polished electrodes are just good for applying statuses with his abilities. But the problem is his abilities are not that great at high ranks because they mentally affect people. Except for like the pallets. I mean, I guess that kind of still helps, but it's not as good as like Freddy's Dream pallets. They're not as clever. And his other ones are just kind of gimmicks. Like I said, he's got a list of add-ons and abilities that they all do, and listing off his add-ons alone would take an entire video. He's just got that many different playstyles. And that's the beauty of Doctors. His add-ons are so drastically different from one another that they change his playstyle almost entirely, and they change what benefits he has in the chase. But I prefer the restraint because it gives me constant tracking on the survivors, so if they're trying to stealth around, as long as I have them in tier 2 madness, they can't really hide, because every once in a while a doctor illusion's gonna appear. It also makes it really easy to find the last survivor if you're trying to slug for the 4K. Makes things so much easier. But yeah. But like I said, interview tape's a good option if you feel you're skilled enough with the Doctor's shocks that you can aim them more precisely and like hit them dead center on the survivor almost every time. Because if you use that, that'll make him feel better. And that's why playing with that made me realize just how much nicer it would be if Doctor didn't have to deal with that charge up time. Which is why I think they should... Actually, I had an idea a bit ago where they could change the way the electrodes work. They could give him buff his base range, but instead of increasing the range with the electrodes, they could increase the width. They would have to rework the interview tape, I guess, but you know, I think it would still be a better way for Doctor to go about it, just so his ability has some punch. Hello. Hello, screaming survivor. It's me, the Doctor. Where are you hiding? Damn, he just vanished. He just got the hell out of there. Because she just got out of there in an instant. Aha. Oh, I didn't even see that Claudette. I don't know how she was able to run that much. Oh right, I also forgot the restraint add-ons. Every time they tear up in Madness, you get to see their aura. Get the Nia. Claudette just disappeared like Claudettes do. Alright, so she's not going for the pallet, which is kind of weird. That's fine. Oh, she was just saboing more hooks. Okay, so I'm gonna have to get Claudette after I get this Nia. No. She tried to bait the window, but it didn't work. So let me just go through here, get this hook up. So yeah, definitely got to watch out for this Claudette, because she's just going around saboing my hooks, and I don't appreciate that very much. I hate players who go around saboing hooks all day. I just think saboing in general is a pretty dumb mechanic, because it just prevents the killer from playing the game, and that's just kind of dumb. It would be survivors would hate it if there were fucking perks that allowed the that made a killer shut down a generator for fucking 3 minutes. Oh, I almost got her. How was that a fast fault? Yeah, I'm gonna... She knows... But, you know, she wasn't that smart. So she's trying to be toxic. Alright. She abandoned the loop because she knows I know how to deal with them a little bit. What's the matter, Claudette? I know you don't have Dead Hard, so you're screwed. But yeah, now that I've got a couple people in Tier 2 Madness, I can get some better tracking going. Even when I don't have barbecue at my disposal. They got Ruin down, so the gens are going to start flying. I'm not going to have that benefit like I did last match. There's Nia again. That's fine. I'll let her run for a second because I can track her. There we go. I just need to get Pop Goes the Weasel on that gen. Pop Goes the Weasel is going to be the thing that saves this game. Especially, yeah, you see what I mean? Because they've got people on gens everywhere and I got to stop them. Because if I don't, I'm just going to be screwed and tattooed, bro. Yeah, that was a good bait, but I'm kind of used to this sort of thing, so it's not going to work very effectively. Alright, got her down. Let's get this hook on. Alright, so we got people who are running around in these areas. There's a guy working on that gen over there, so I'm going to start working on that. I can start building up some more madness. Okay, so she just got saved already. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Got to prioritize the gens over the unhooks. Alright, that's another thing that I forgot to mention earlier. Whenever you're in lockers, the Doctor static field doesn't affect you. But obviously it's a big time waster, so it's probably not the wisest decision to go for it. How is she doing that? She's just teabagging Claudette. It's so cute. Alright, come on Claudette. Yeah, see, she's gonna taunt and stuff at every pallet. Alright, I got her. I'm gonna get a hit here. Alright, they got another gen. I'm gonna go get the Nia. Thanks for the free hit, Nia. I'm gonna need that. Where'd she go? I heard her footsteps. She just... Oh. Here's another Nia. Nice job. There's the other Claudette. That's fine. Less people here means less people on gens. So there's where the other Nia went. I'm gonna go after her because I need her. I need someone dead because they're gonna start popping gens like crazy and they're being very altruistic, which is both working for me and screwing me. Gotcha. Sorry, Nia. I need you gone. I'm not going to deal with Sprint Burst Claudette running to a bunch of damn pallets. Her Sprint Burst feels like it's lasting ages in this game. Now I know there's a survivor in... Oh, I thought that was a survivor crouching in the corner. I know there's a survivor hanging out around here. Blood. Blood, blood. Wait a minute. The blood ended. So how much you want to bet she's in this locker? No, she urban evasioned outside. That's where she is. Assassino! You didn't see Air Doctor coming in, did you, Claudette? How about you teabag me now? Little Miss Sabo sprint burst. This other Claudette's trying to body block the hook, but it's fine. Yeah, she had to run. So thanks for the help and giving me a free hit, other Claudette. I really appreciate you. You're making things so much easier for me right now. Have fun with that tier 2 madness. Alright. Oh, what the fuck was that? Got her. And I got the God Pallet to boot. Let's fucking go. See, with Doc, you just gotta keep the pressure going. Alright, I'm gonna keep her down, just so I can slug for the other guy, because I want my other barbecue... Well, actually, she is my other barbecue stack. But I really want the 4K, though. I feel like I earned it. So, let's go here. Alright, so someone's working on this gen for sure. For sure. So, I'm going to kick this with Pop Goes the Weasel, because it's about to run out. That gen is nearly gone. Awesome. So I can afford to play around with these guys a little bit and go for the 4K, because there's only 2 of them, there's 3 gens left, and I already see the Nia. This works out perfectly. Are you having fun yet, Nia? There you go, tier 2 madness for Nia. Oh, hello, other Claudette. Let's get Nia on the ground. One thing's for sure, I have to hook the Claudette. Wait. Damn, she nearly... That was a fast hide. GG to that. Alright. Now I'm gonna hook you and go get the Nia. Madness, man. It really helps you track people when they're trying to urban evasion around. Doctor's like... is like urban evasion Claudette's worst nightmare. Alright, let's see if she gets off the hook. I'm hoping she doesn't, but if she does, it doesn't matter, because I already got Nia right here. Deliverance, I should have guessed. It's fine though, she's in tier 3 madness, so she has to snap out of it, and she's injured thanks to Deliverance. So she literally cannot hide. Yeah, I could hear you. Oh, sprint burst. Okay. Yeah, sitting at the pallet wasn't the best idea, Claudette. You were way too predictable as to where you were going. And you don't have Decisive Strike either. Yeah. If you're going to use Deliverance, at least use D-Strike, because right there she would have got away for free. So that's GG, boys. I think this is why I say the Doctor's kind of underrated, because even here at Red Ranks, I've been kind of doing semi-decently with him, though I will agree he is definitely not even nearly powerful enough to deal with the top of the top teams who know how to loop him. And it really sucks, and that's why a lot of killers need some love. And the Doctor, I'm glad he's finally getting some. Myers and the Chainsaw Bros are also getting some love. I'm not sure what they have planned for them exactly, but I'm hoping it makes them better, because they need to be better. Because at the current moment, they're just not good. But yeah, you can see why I love the Doctor. He's a lot of fun to play against. I mean, well, play as. It's subjective whether, like, for me, I guess it's fun for me because it's a new, interesting dynamic to the whole entire theme of the fight, of the chase, and just the match in general. And, you know, I feel like a lot of people just only like the killers that are easy to fight. And I don't like that, because it's like, you shouldn't be trying to make things easy. Survivor is already not hard to learn, and it's already very safe and unbalanced at the moment. You shouldn't be trying to make it to where the killers aren't fun to play, and make it to where there are less killers. Like, it's funny how people like to complain about the long queue times as Survivor sometimes. Like, it takes me way longer, and it's way more difficult for me to get a game as Survivor than it is for me to get a game as Killer. Because nobody likes really playing Killer anymore. Because every time they come out with a new killer nowadays, they nerf them not long after release or during release, and it's just, Plague, Legion, and Ghostface. I mean, I think Legion's actually underrated. That's just me, but Plague and Ghostface, they really got the shaft, man. They just did not do them justice. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys learned something from this. If you guys have any questions, please comment down below. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and if you would please follow me on Twitter. I'll have it posted in a comment down below. It would really help me out in keeping people informed as to when new videos come up, and it would also be nice to interact with people more to help the channel grow. So either way, whether you choose to or not, I will see you guys all in the next video. Peace.